Hi, welcome to another episode of Beading with Diana. Today we're going to make one of those really cool wrap leather bracelets that everybody's wearing. They're also referred to as the Chanlu. So today we are going to make that. So we're going to start off by using a 2mm size piece of leather. We're going to do just one wrap today, just so you're not sitting here for 45 minutes watching me make a second one. They end the same way. You can make them as long as you want. You can make them a mile long, you can make them 7 inches. Doesn't matter. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take about 2.5 feet of leather. We're going to fold it in half. Let's call it 3 feet. Okay? And we're going to cut this just like that. And we're going to fold it in half just like this, and the part where there's the loop right here, we're going to tie it in a knot. You don't want to make it too big, just big enough so your end bead can go in it. Ta-da! Just like that. And then we take it and put it in, the best thing to use is a clipboard so you can weave really easily. So you just open up the clipboard and put this in. So now that our leather is connected to the clipboard, what we're going to do is we're going to start by weaving in our beads. So I got these nice black beads because I thought this would look nice. You know, just nice neutrals going on here. So the best stuff to use for the wrapping is Fireline or like a Nymo thread. I like the Fireline the best. I find it to be the strongest. Right here we're using a smoke gray, which is a great color. You know, it'll look really nice against the leather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a couple yards of that, just so I know that we have enough. So it's always better to have too much than not enough. Alright, now here comes the fun part where we put needles on both ends. So I like to use a size 12 needle. So, and you can find all these products at Beadle's Bead Shop, located in Chelmsford, Rockport, and now Concord, Massachusetts. Or visit us online at beadlesbeads.com. Alright, so now that we have our 2 strings, well, not 2 strings, 1 string, 2 needles, we're going to cut our beads. I like to use a 6 or a 4mm bead. I don't like to go above 6mm because I find that it just gets a little clunky. Although it's good for men if they want to have a wrap bracelet. Some of them like it to be a little bigger, so it's up to them. But what we're going to do is I like to come underneath with both threads, and then we're going to put a bead on. This is going to be our anchor bead, okay? So we're going to put this on. So there's our anchor bead. I'm going to go through it one more time. Hopefully you can see that. So we just put that through like this, and we're going to pull from either side. So you're going to see like this big web of fire line on each side. So keep pulling. This is the most important bead, this and the last one. So what you want to do is make sure that it's put in there nice and tight, okay? Our next step is going to be, we're going to go under this side and back through the bead. Okay, this is going to hold it in place, okay? I know my hands are probably getting in the way, but I just need to hold that there, and you're just pulling it nice and tight. And then the second one, you do the same exact thing. You go underneath the leather and then back through. Okay? So after you've done that, you pull this, and that's going to hold it nice and tight in its spot. So we come underneath. Whoops. We come underneath on each side, just like that. We put a bead on one of the needles, it doesn't matter which one, and then we go back through with the other one. Like, just keep thinking that you're crisscrossing. So see that? So I'm crisscrossing, and it's naturally going to fall into place. Okay, so just keep pulling. The first part of your bracelet's always like the most annoying because it's really, the strings are really long. So see, and then you just pull it up and pull it nice and tight. Okay, the size fire line that I use is the 6-pound. I also really like using the 20-pound, especially if you're making a bracelet for a man or someone that's going to be wearing it every day. This one's a 6-pound. It's a little more delicate. You can't really see it as much, which, you know, might be what you're looking for. Again, we're going to take one, put that on, and then we're going to go through this side and then pull this tight. So we're going to pull that up to there. Okay, so now that we're coming towards the end, we're going to put on our final anchor bead. Okay, so we're going to do our usual stitch. We go under our leathers, just like this, through our bead. Whoops. Through our bead. And then through it going the opposite end, just like this. See, and see how we pull, just like that. I'm going to pull this nice and tight. That's like the key, is making sure you pull nice and tight, but not so tight you break the string. So, and we're going to do like we did on the other one. We're going to go back, we're going to go under, and then over, and through the bead. Just like this. With the other side, where we go under and through the bead and over our leather, just like this. And then we do one more thing just to tie this off, okay? Only on one side. We're going to go under and through the bead, but we're going to go underneath the next leather, okay? Because before we were going over. See how one is on top and one is on the bottom? What you're going to do is you're going to cut off your string just to leave enough. You tie it in. I like to do a triple knot, and you can kind of tie it close to the bead. That way you can kind of like almost like tuck it under. That's why I like using the fire line, because you don't have to like use glue or anything. You just it's waxy, so it just stays. Just do one more knot, just like this. And then what we're going to do is cut all this off. You can kind of just rub it in. Now to end it, we take, see, does not look wicked good? We take this and we're going to tie a knot with both strings. So see how I go under and over? Just like that. And we pull it up to about there. Oops. I'm going to pull this tight and this tight. And then what I do is I cut one of the strands off. You can put a little dab of glue there if you want. And then I put on our bead that we're going to use. You can use any type of bead as long as it has a big hole that can go through the leather. And then what I do is I just tie one more knot. You don't want to tie it all the way to the other knot, because you want to give it some room to move around. Pull it nice and tight. See how it's got a little wiggle room? I'm going to cut this off at the end. Ta-da! And see how cool that looks?